What's your thoughts on this stuff, Bill?
Well, I'm glad it's on your farm and not on mine.
I've got a lot of invasive species on here, and like, share with us what your thoughts are on all these autumn olive, bush honeysuckle, multiflora rose.
The biggest challenge you've got when you're trying to increase or improve the habitat on a hunting property is the invasives, because if you don't have them, then you've got all kinds of options available. You know, you can do timber stand improvement.
Day one.
Right. You can open it up. You can bring sunlight to the ground. You can get oak regeneration. You can get, you know, native forbs. You can burn through it. You can get all the leaves out of there. Now we've got green stuff coming up that the deer like to eat. And turkeys will pick away at that stuff.
You got to get sunlight down to the forest floor for that to grow.
Do all the cool stuff you want to do.
Yep.
But let's say that the place is loaded up with bush honeysuckle. And that's what we're talking about. It seems like it's dead, but unfortunately it is not dead.
Not.
So this stuff here is very invasive. It's got the little red berry and the birds carried around. And basically until you control it, when you do all that habitat work, all you're really doing is opening the bush honeysuckle up to flourish.
Yep. I know I've got a bunch of honeysuckle on my other farm, and I've been waiting to get in there to do some TSI, but just dying to it. It's open timber. You can see 200 yards through it. I know that's not what I want, but if I went in there cut, there's just enough honeysuckle on the edges and the younger, smaller stuff in there that if I expose sunlight to it, all I'm going to have is a monoculture thick wall of honeysuckle.
That's wicked. And you can ruin a farm that way.
Absolutely.
So you got to address the invasives before you do the stuff that you really want to do, you know, from a deer habitat or even just a general maintenance of the timber. You know, it's bad stuff. And people say, oh, it makes cool habitat. Well, it might make cool habitat for a little while or something, you know, maybe serve some purpose, but then it just takes over and it just ruins it.
One monoculture, there's nothing that grows underneath of it. It's bare dirt underneath of it. It's
bad.
And it's bad right here in this area right now.
We came up from where we started, you know, this segment. It's really thick down there, big, you know, stalks.
Yes.
You know,
those you got to hack and squirt. Fire takes care of small stuff, but there's going to be a lot of mechanical and chemical application in this timber here.
So what are you doing then to manage it, to control the bush honeysuckle?
Well, again, I've been kind of waiting for some support from MDC, but we've got a lot of that.
MDC,
Missouri Department of Conservation. I use my private lands conservation, and conservation is from the Missouri Department of Conservation, and then the federal government has those people as available as well. They have a bigger area, but I'm getting some funding to get rid of some of my invasives and some of the stuff, since it's the last thing to go dormant and the first thing to green up. So you can do some foliar application. There's mechanical stuff where you're cutting it, and then you can hack and squirt it. So you can squirt the stump, and then fire. So once you do kind of get the bigger stuff done, then you can manage some of the smaller stuff. It doesn't like fire, but fire's not going to take care of a big one. It says, oh, who cares?
Right.
So you got to get it down to where it's the small stuff, and then the fire will. So then, like every 3-year kind of fire, you can kind of keep that down and manage it that way.
So then the other thing I know about fire too is it doesn't impact the like oak saplings and some of the other stuff that you would prefer to keep.
Yeah,
it just takes out some of the junk.
Mother Nature used to run fire through here, you know, every so often, and that, but with the great fire departments and everything we have now, that doesn't happen anymore. So sometimes doing a controlled burn really helps everything that is Mother Nature intended to be here.
Right.
All right, today we're going to take first few steps at getting ready some bush honeysuckle. We've been hacking and squirting. We've done some foliar application, but it's time to start the burn. And I got some money coming in from the federal government and from the Missouri Department of Conservation to assist in this, but today is the fire day, one of my favorites. Let's go take a look at it.